everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me and my mom again.
Hi.
We're doing another video on the continuation of the tips while you're ghost hunting, but these are the don'ts. So I do have surgery coming up on Thursday, so I don't know when my next video will be. I'll be resting a lot. Also, if you hear a dog walking around in the background, that would be Coda and Rocky. They're coming in the bathroom with us in and out, so sorry about that. But let's go ahead and get started with the don'ts. Hi, bud. Let's go ahead and get started with the don'ts of what you don't want to do while ghost hunting. And, of course, the dogs are wanting to be in the video today.
Get down.
The number one don't... Come on, bud. Get down.
Down, bud.
The number one don't is don't go alone. So you want to be safety in numbers. I would suggest don't go with a huge group, like 10 people or more. You want to keep the group small because many people, you know, different noises, maybe somebody won't, you might hear something, but realize it might be one of your team members by accident. You have anything to add to that?
Be sure and document any noises that you make, footsteps, or any kind of things going around that you're making that's not given by your atmosphere, so that later on when you review your videos and things and your tape recordings, so you'll know that that is not a spirit, that is you actually doing it. And we found that there are 3 of us in our group. Probably odd numbers work better, but you don't have to stick to that as a firm rule. It's just, however, but do not make them too big because it gets to be too much confusion to keep track of everybody.
Another tip is don't forget to tell someone where you will be and when you will be back. This is important because you don't know, even if it's not ghost related or spirit related, paranormal. You know, if you're in a location, there could be, you know, people hiding, waiting for you, especially like if you're out in the woods or something like that. So you want to make sure you tell somebody where you're going to be, so if something does happen, they know where to look for you.
Yes, it's always safety in numbers, and it's safe to let people know where you are, about the time you will be home, because if heaven forbid you all don't return by a certain time, they can have someone go out and look for you. There may be bad people in the area when they can be worse than the dark entities that could be lurking. So it's just for your own safety and everything that you watch your numbers and watch your back and each other keep your backs covered.
Don't forget to know the land before you go. You want to definitely, I think we talked about this in our last video. You want to research the land before you go, because in the daylight you'll be able to see what you're doing or where you're going. You know, it could possibly fall through, or could be a very old building where you could get hurt, something fall on you. So definitely do your investigation during the daytime. Go walk through with a couple friends or your crew, you know, walk through and make sure you investigate the land or the building before you actually go into it at night.
Right. Know your atmosphere. Know what the land had on it. Possibly Indians had been there and left spirits behind. They're not quite such good spirits because way back when there were bad spirits in the Indian Native American culture as well as they were in the pioneer days. So you just do not know the age of the land or anything about the land unless you get in there and do your research. Go to the library, the museum, clerk's office, city, county, wherever, if there are any historians of the town or any eyewitnesses that have been there before, other paranormal investigators and what they've run into. Just make yourself totally prepared of what you might be up against. It's for your own safety. And the safety is number one when you investigate, not just for fun, because you could be getting into something really bad that you don't want anything to do with. Don't make fun of spirits. Don't challenge them. Don't do anything. Don't demand they come. Don't demand they show themselves, because you're going to have a fight on your hands, especially if it's a demon or something more wicked than a demon or some other kind of evil spirit.
Yep. Don't forget to charge your equipment. This is a big thing because energy does, or spirits do drain your energy. They get it from cameras. They get it from you. Like I said before, they do drain you. You probably won't know until later on as if they're draining you. Definitely take extra batteries because you want to make sure that you have the extra batteries so that you can put them in your camera instead of just having dead batteries. I believe the best ones that my brother, his Twitter is Ghost of the 812. I've done previous videos talked about things that involved him. He says lithium batteries, Energizer lithium, are really good to take, and don't take rechargeable batteries because those are just junk whenever it comes to the cameras. They'll die as well. I would not suggest going to a cemetery and doing ghost hunting because you don't know that's a lot of energy from the people who have passed on. So you definitely don't want to, especially make it a game, go to cemetery and, mess around, make fun of things. Definitely don't do that because spirits do know what you're doing and they can see you. So, they might follow you home or attach to you. So you definitely don't want to mess around in cemeteries while ghost hunting. We've actually never been to a cemetery while ghost hunting. It's just something that you don't want to do. I mean, you do see different paranormal groups on TV doing it, but they've been in the business a very long time. We're a small paranormal group, so we definitely don't want to take our chances. We've had things attached to objects, and I'll probably do a video on that about different objects we've had attached to things that we've actually brought in the home. More recently, we had something attached and it was causing a lot of havoc in our home. So you definitely, I would not suggest going to a cemetery and investigating.
Spirit boards, Ouija boards, Ouija, I should say. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that.
That's okay.
Any of those boards are not for fun and games. When you use a Ouija board, which I definitely do not recommend anyone using that.
Unless you are experienced. That's the only time you want to mess with one.
And also, you need to have backup. If you're going to mess with a Ouija board, you're going to have somebody who can get attachments to you, be able to take those off of you, because they're very dangerous. And they will follow you home, create nightmares, and make your life a living heck.
Sleep paralysis.
And they can also kill you. Sleep paralysis, which is very dangerous. And also, when you're in a cemetery, you need to respect, because don't forget that these folks once lived, and they're humans just like us. They had feelings, they had thoughts, they had memories. And I believe, like a lot of paranormal investigators, that spirits do continue with the feelings, they continue with memories, and they cherish their loved ones. So please be careful if you ever go into a cemetery. But I highly ill-advise it, just as my daughter does.
Yep. Don't forget to take religious articles, so like holy water, the St. Benedict medals, crucifixes. Prayers are very important. St. Michael, pray to the archangels like Raphael and Gabriel and Ariel and St. Michael. They will help protect you. My mom actually has a, I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's a, can you lean up a little bit?
It's a St. Benedict.
It's a St. Benedict medal.
It's been blessed by the Pope.
Yep, it's been blessed by the Pope, and she wears this all the time. It's just a little medal. You can find them online. Is that where you got this one?
Yes,
online?
Joe bought it for me.
Okay. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting something like that. My old camera had like the little hole you could put the strap into. I actually attached a few different medals onto that to help protect my camera as well.
As far as the holy water goes, have that. It's blessed water from the Catholic Church. You can get that in the churches. We'd be glad to share it with you. Fill up a spray atomizer and spray your body from head to toe with it, as well as have a prayer handy that you can read to St. Michael, the Archangel, because he is the very strongest of all God's archangels, as far as I know. He carries a double-edged sword to fight evil, and he will protect you. So all the angels, and God will send multitudes to protect you. If you just ask for help and protection, he will grant it.
Yep. And spray yourself with holy water, say prayer, along with getting the holy water and the crucifixes and things like that.
Yes, and when you pray, you should bow your heads and join hands and believe in these prayers and believe in what you're saying, because God knows when you're faking it or not.
Yep.
And believe me, when you're doing things in a paranormal realm, it's a very, very big realm, and we've just begun to touch it because there's so much out there. Even like Zach Bagans and Ghost Adventures, the big groups, they don't know everything out there. We're all investigating. That's why we're out there.
Yep. Another big one is don't forget to bring a flashlight. Definitely do that, because you need to make sure that you know what's going on, where things are, especially if you're investigating an old house. You want to bring a flashlight with you, an extra battery, so that goes along with that.
Yes, Because complete darkness is fine like they do. Do it in darkness, but you got to think of safety too. A flashlight will keep you from stepping in something that's going to hurt you, break a foot or a leg, and that will cancel your investigation for the rest of the night. So it's just in your best interest to carry even a small one. You don't have to have anything really strong, but have something small. It's for your protection, and it won't scare the spirits either.
Another one, don't aggravate or challenge the spirits. That's a big one. You do not want to do that. They can easily attach to you. We've had attachments. I've had attachments. My brother's had attachments. And they're very hard to get rid of. So some of them are very hard. So you definitely want to make sure you don't challenge that spirit. Zach will even tell you, like on his, he challenges a lot of spirit. If you've seen the documentary about the demon house, which I don't know if I'd really suggest it because things can come through TVs, and believe it or not, they can come through TVs and attach to you. They can come in your home. So, I mean, I would be very careful if you're going to watch that movie. That's a disclaimer. So, I'm not recommending it to you, but if you have seen it, he talks about how at the very end, after all this chaos happened, he actually had a spirit attached to him and made him lose his eyesight, or not his eyesight, but now he has to wear like bifocal glasses, I believe it is, from now on when he investigates, because he actually challenged the spirit and the spirit got mad and actually caused him to lose some of his eyesight. So you definitely don't want to challenge that spirit.
Spirits are capable of doing all kinds of damage to anything from mental to any kind of physical. They can take over your body, oppress you, possess you, and they're out to end up killing you and taking your soul down to hell.
Yep. Joe was almost possessed one night, and we finally, and I don't think I included this in the video because my first couple videos I was pretty nervous and forgot some things. But at the end, we actually had a priest come in and bless our home. And when he was doing that, all I could hear in my mind was like almost in movies when they have all these voices in your head. That's exactly what I heard. And it's saying, get out, make him leave, fuck the priest. Sorry, excuse my language. You know, forget the priest. Screw you, all these other things, insulting things, wanting the priest to leave. And I actually had to step out of the house because it was affecting me so bad. But we finally got the house blessed.
Right, and we didn't have any more demons trying to possess anyone in the house.
No.
Except my encounters in this house that we've spoke about, with them throwing me into the furniture, trying to kill me, broke my ribs, bit my thumb drive into an L-shaped metal part, and they kept pushing me up and down, and prayer is the only thing that saved me that evening when I was by myself.
Yep. Another one that we did touch on is don't smoke or vape. If you're going to smoke, definitely go away from the area where you're investigating so it doesn't look like it's fog, because some pictures will show up fog, but you want to make sure that it's not that and nothing coincides with the picture.
Right. It can show up similar to a misting, and if you're not aware that someone may have been smoking, you're going to confuse that with misting, and you're going to have to debunk
misting and fog. Yep. One, don't underestimate the danger. Don't go in there with your ego very high, you know, saying, oh, I'm the best in the world, I can capture anything. Don't go in there with a hot head, because there is a lot of danger when it comes to ghost hunting. In October, there's a thing here in Evansville, that Willard Library, which I've talked about, where I caught the little girl spirit. They have ghost tours, so I do plan on making a video when we sign up to go to that, because you have to, it's free, but you have to reserve your spot with how many people. So I do plan on filming a video when we go ghost hunting, all that at Willard Library. So definitely stay tuned. If you want to see that video, just subscribe to my channel, like the video if you could.
Willard Library is a very beautiful old library.
Yep, and you'll be able to see on the inside of it whenever they do the ghost tour. I'll be recording for you guys.
And we have pictures of apparitions inside of Willard Library, as well as entities and possible small demons that surround the grounds that Willard Library is located on. And if you go on to Willard Library, they have a website. I believe it's www.willardlibrary.com.
Yeah.
It's well worth your time to check out our library. It's gorgeous.
And you can also watch ghost cams on there for free. So you can actually look and see if you can find a ghost, the Gray Lady on there. They have it on the page, I believe, somewhere. Or you could probably find ghost cams. It's really easy to find.
And the Gray Lady tour is usually the first 2 to 3 weeks before Halloween.
Yep, so look for that in October.
Right.
Like I said, I've got surgery coming up on this Thursday. I don't know when I'll be able to get around to a video. Next time you see me, I'll actually be in a splint. So
all your prayers are needed, but I know she's going to be okay.
Yep. Another one is don't litter. You know, you want to be respectful. This should be common sense. You don't want to litter on the property. Never be overconfident and boastful, like we were saying. Don't have a hot head. Don't show fear. You know, they will manifest off of fear. I don't want to show any of that.
And they can also, if they get really angry at you, they can pick up pieces of wood, stones, just anything handy, bricks, and throw it at you.
Yep. We were actually on a tour this was at Waverly Hills in Louisville, Kentucky. We've been there a few times. Really want to go there, but it's like $100 per group to go. So maybe if we save up enough money, we'll go there and investigate, and I'll bring you guys along.
It's to tours now, except for an overnight at Halloween, I believe. But
yeah, they have a haunted house for Halloween. And I was standing with my back to a window on the 5th floor where the kids, you can read the history and watch different documents, but the kids used to play on that floor. And I was standing with my back towards it, and there was another lady I was talking to, and these little jacks that kids would play with, the little jacks, the balls, and the little metal pieces, they were all on the windowsill. The window was closed. We were talking about it. All of a sudden, I hear a clink on the floor, and I look down, and the jacks are all scattered on the floor. So they can move things. That's just proving, even if it's a child spirit, it can move things.
Yes, the thing of it is, with Waverly Hills, thousands of people perished due to that disease. There was an epidemic, and that's one of the reasons that Waverly Hills came about. And children were taken there if they were found to have it, as well as the adults and parents. They were taken within 48 hours. You had to be down at Waverly Hills, just outside of Louisville. And children came down with it. It took their lives as well. Tore families apart. It's just a very sad place. Very sad. And you can feel the spirits. And they even have shadow people that are up. They had a
Big Black.
Floor.
They call them Big Black.
And also they had people that were affected mentally, and so it made them go ultimately crazy with the disease. It's just very, very bad place that they had to go through.
I mean, that air is thick. You can cut it with a knife. That's how thick it is there. It's definitely something to check out if you want to go. It's about 2 hours away from us. So we've been a few times. It's very interesting. We caught a lot of really cool photos, which actually some of those photos I think are going to be in my mom's book when she publishes it. So definitely stay tuned for that. It'll be a little bit. She's working on trying to get manuscripts out right now. So it's a work in progress, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated on all that.
Thank you, Brittany.
So another thing is, this is like a misconception. So people think, full moon, 3 a.m. is the best time to go. But honestly, I mean, anything, you can catch anything, even during the daytime. Full moon, nighttime shooting, it's not so important. We've caught stuff at 11 p.m. We've caught stuff at 10. We've caught stuff at 3 a.m. We've caught stuff at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It just really depends on where you're shooting at. You can catch it at any time.
3 a.m. why they think that's a really important time is because Christ, when he died as far as the Catholic religion and others have determined, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and his blood was shed. So therefore, the devil is envious of that. And he has the most havoc a lot of times created by his demons and cohorts at 3 at night. So that's why a lot of times they think that 3 is a really good time to capture things. And also the occult, the followers and churches of Satan, they have these deep demonic rituals that included the letting of blood and the sacrifice of animals, as well as, I believe, human sacrifice, which is, oh my goodness, is so horrible. I've never been around it, and I don't know the details, but this is what I've learned from other groups who have checked out things more depth than I have.
And when investigating with others, you don't want to be too close because you don't want them in the pictures if you're taking the pictures, which leads us to the next point. So it can take up to a few days for things to materialize. We've actually taken pictures and just let it alone. A couple days later, we've looked at it and we found the materialization of things. Definitely give it a couple days to materialize. I don't know why that is, but we just find that after a few days, things start to materialize.
A lot of times when you've got a picture that you think is just completely dark, if you get in and put some lightness to the picture with your photographic equipment, if you lighten it up, a lot of times you will find spirits, shadow creatures, different things that are hiding in the dark. And sometimes they'll open up and say, but there's where you were, you little stinker.
And the rule 2 to 3 days. So when I captured the photo of Emily, actually, I didn't even look at it for a year. Went back and I said, I kind of got a feeling to look close at the photo. And when I zoomed in, that's when I saw her. So even a year later, I was able to see her. But I don't believe I saw anything that night. I kind of just skimmed through the photos. Always watch you and your fellow investigators back. Definitely do that because you don't know what's going to be around. You know, even an animal, you don't know if there's an animal that could, you know, attack you or something, for instance. I would also carry something on you, like maybe a stick or like a cane or something to protect yourselves in case something were to happen. You know, you don't want to be out there just by yourself and something really bad happen to you, not just paranormal, but something could attack you or whatever it may be. So you definitely want to make sure you stay with people, you know, keep some protection with you.
And also, if you hear a deep growl, a grumbly type thing, be extra aware and try to stay clear of that where it's growling, because more than likely it's a demon or something even stronger, because demons come in different strengths. So just, if you get into that and you're a very inexperienced team, be sure and get away, because it will throw things at you, it will hurt you, it will try and possess your soul, and you're in for a lot of heartache, dear. So just be very careful. I'm concerned for everyone's sake. That's why Brittany and I are doing this, to give you some pointers, because a lot of people don't understand exactly what's involved in paranormal investigations. So just be careful, because we love you. Hugs and kisses to everybody.
You know, if it becomes dangerous, you have a gut feeling, get out of there.
Right.
That's another pointer.
Your gut feelings, that's your best judge.
And don't forget to take a tape recorder. You can buy these offline, you know. Like we said, if you've got more advanced, you know, equipment, that's awesome. Take that. But we take a tape recorder and just a simple camera. My brother's camera costed like $100, $150. So it's not a high-end camera. So you don't have to have that. But if you do, that's awesome.
Yes, you can use some more the higher-end cameras if you want. Mine's just a little bit more higher-ended. But his pictures are perfectly clear, just like mine.
Another one, we're almost done. We've got a couple more points. But ignorance can injure you and end your human existence. Do not be ignorant when you go. Give respect. Have respect for those spirits that have passed on. Some may be stuck. You know, you want to make sure you give respect to those spirits.
And if you have someone who has gifts like we do along, they can kind of tell you what the spirits may be thinking toward an area where they may be. May guide you to a place where you may have better success with taking the pictures. Brittany and I and Joe, we all have gifts. We're empaths, sensitives, and we're getting our psychic gifts are becoming more clear. So we use those, and that's why we never carry a big video camera, one like other investigators do. We just carry simple little digital recorders and our hand cameras, and that's all.
One other thing we touched on was Ouija boards, especially in graveyards. You know, you see these videos, movies of them playing with Ouija boards in graveyards, and that's very dangerous, especially if you don't know what spirit's there. It could have been somebody who murdered somebody, could have been somebody who, you know, ended their life for a certain reason. You definitely want to be respectful and do not bring a Ouija board in, because, you know, you could attach a demon to it. You could attach a very bad spirit. I mean, you could get a good spirit, but you could attach a very, very bad spirit who wants to do harm, and you're letting them into the world. You are, get down, Coda. He sees a fly, so he wants to chase it. You want to make sure you don't play with one because you're opening up a door that you don't know what's going to come through. You don't, there's a demon called Zozo, and a lot of times that demon actually will come through the Ouija board, and then you've got a problem on your hands that you cannot fix. You need somebody to help you, Byzantine priests. They're actually getting more of those in the Catholic Church because of all the paranormal and, the exorcisms and things like that. So you definitely do not want to play with one unless you know what you're doing, and highly suggest don't do that in a cemetery, especially. One thing, capturing spirits in a cemetery, that's going a little on edge, that can be dangerous. But if you're going and playing with a Ouija board or a spirit board, any kind of board, even a handmade Ouija board is bad. It can still come through. So you definitely don't want to mess with that. Even like one on your phone. I know there's apps you can download, mess with, but you still don't want to mess with those because you don't know what's going to come through. Even though it may seem like it's a joke, it's honestly not a joke. You want to be very careful what you do.
Right, because when you open that door by playing with the Ouija, you may be asking for a certain relative or someone to come through. Well, you're asking for trouble because you're not going to have any guarantee that just that one spirit or even it's going to come through. What you're going to get more likely is a demon, and demons are bad news. And portals are rifts between our dimension and another one. Also, when you get ready to stop your session, how are you sure that you've got, even though you've closed it properly, how sure are you that you have got that demon or whatever the bad entity is that came in with whatever good may have come through, which probably no good came through because the Ouija board never has a really good ending. Never. It's too very dangerous for your sake and everyone else around. So please do not do a Ouija board. It is so dangerous. Believe me. I say these things to help you and not criticize you or boss you around. We're doing this to help you because we care about everyone out there and we love you all.
Yep. I think that's about it. I am going to try, I have to talk to the lady who owns the shop. She owns a place called Bead Angel, which is a spiritual shop. So I'm going to try and maybe do an interview with her, or, we thought about maybe going downtown, and there's a lot of historic, beautiful homes where we live on the riverfront. So thinking about doing those videos. So leave a comment below if you'd like to see those, or if you have any other suggestions for videos. I'd be willing to go ahead and go out and do them. So just let me know if you have any other suggestions. Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, turn on the post notifications. Like I said, I don't know when I'll really be uploading next, but I'm going to try and do it. Probably not this week, but the next week. Following that, maybe next Monday. I'll keep up on Twitter with you guys, so just let me know what you'd like to see, and you guys have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.